welcome to yet another edition of Handloom Talks this evening. And we have a very interesting person with us today, Kunal Maurya. He's a textile engineer by profession, and of course, he's doing his bit to keep our tradition, our culture, our heritage alive. So he is actually holding forth, what we are right now talking about, to bringing the other generation in to this handloom industry so that it keeps on, shining bright like a beacon, and it holds itself straight forth on the map of India and then bring it in the map of the world. But before we go on with our discussion this evening, Shumana will introduce Kunal and tell us more about him.
Sure. Thank you. I'm very happy to welcome our guest today, Kunal Maurya, who is a textile engineer, entrepreneur, and fifth generation member of a Banarasi weaving family. He's a graduate of IIT Delhi in textile engineering, and his work right now focuses on preserving traditional handloom knowledge while building new systems around traceability, design, authenticity, sustainability, and craft education through HKV Banaras and Hastkala Pramanak. Thank you so much, Kunal, for joining today.
Thanks, Anusha ma'am. Thanks, Sumana, for having me here.
Kunal, when we hear about your introduction, when we talk about Banaras, and we, both of us being Bengalis, so, a Bengali wedding is not complete with a few saris in our trousseau from Banaras. In fact, the bride has to wear a Banarasi sari. That's been a tradition, and we're still carrying it forth. So, Bengal has a very close connection with Banaras. So I that may not have been, the agenda which we had planned, but this just came to my mind. So Kunal, can we start off from there? The Banarasi sari and its connection with the wedding or the auspicious occasions. In fact, apart from the wedding, there are so many other auspicious occasions, and we usually fall back on a Banarasi sari because a Banarasi sari, we believe, can never go wrong. There is one for every auspicious occasion in the family. So, Kunal, you bringing forth that heritage, for a long, long time. So, can you just start with that? The Banarasi sari and its connection with the various occasions,
Sure,
and
sure.
how do you go about it? And also, I would like you to touch upon this, with the powerloom sector coming up. So is it that people are, looking for this powerloom saris and not falling back on the traditional handloom saris, which were there? I mean, in my time, there was no powerloom. So any sari from Banaras was always hand woven one. Over to you, Kunal.
So the way we have known Banaras is more of a Banaras as a saris, but it's not only that, it's more of a Banarasi textile. Okay. So let's just go back to the from where it started and what all we have found out in history. So the oldest and the which we have found it out that when Lord Buddha left his body and had the Mahaparinirvan. In that, he used a silk fabric which was woven in Banaras. It is found. So it traces back to that Banaras history and has been used on and off to every occasion. So even the brides getting married in UP, Bihar, Bengal, all this belt side, and even in the South India, everyone has a Banarsi sari or a textile in their trousseau in some or other form. And basically, all the bright color jewel tones where they have red, yellow, purple, and the purple has been always a royal color which royalties have preferred long period of time. So all this have been always interconnected. And in Banaras specifically, when someone even dies in a weaver's family, they go to the ghats, to the cremation ground, wrapped in Banarsi textiles. So it's even connected with that also. Not only with the auspicious side, it's even so. It just tells that it starts from when you're like a child to your entire life journey. Some or other way, Banarsi textile is involved at every form, at every time period of yours. So even when a child is born, they are given Banarsi's clothes here at least in our culture. They are being given when you leave the world. Then also you are being given, and especially like when the person gets married, everyone knows about that. But like these are few hidden facts which it's not even openly talked about, but I just wanted to touch upon them. And I'll just touch base upon the powerloom as you asked upon. So, powerloom started somewhere late 90s, coming down to Benares. It was not very, it has been always a costlier equipment to have it. Not everyone had it, but post COVID, like not COVID, the use has been rampant, and like the increase of the digital era where people are not even able to find it out what's happening, what's being sold, and how it's passed, and everyone being everyone is selling Banarasi textile in disguise of being a manufacturer from here. So that has been happening. But on a cultural shift, when I say, like, no one wants to buy like wear those powerloom sarees if they know that it is actually woven on powerloom. Everyone just asks for Banarsis, and they are being passed on as a handmade sarees. So no bride would ever want to wear it if they know that it is not handmade and it is not actually Banarsi, which has been coming on since generation. And just to define Banarsi as per the government definition in GI, we have is that it has to be woven on handloom, has to be pure silk or cotton. It can't be anything else. So that is Banarsi. But if it is made on machine, it's not Banarsi, but people are passing it on. So if you're wearing on your wedding or anything and it is made on machine, I'm sorry, but it's not Banarsi which you are wearing. And
Yeah, we were
yeah,
talking about technology, and you said post-COVID, everyone has access to the internet, to all these new things which are coming up. And so power looms are getting a boost there. Powerlooms have been more in prevalent since COVID time. So if you talk about that, since the COVID time, actually the world has immersed itself in technology, right? Well, on these various social media, and there's been a shift, isn't it? From the shops have become online. The social media has become the shop, isn't it? After the COVID, so isn't that a kind of a paradox? We're talking about more advancement. We're talking about advantages of these the newer forms, but then that has its disadvantages also, because as you rightly mentioned, the customers very rarely have an access to really touch and feel that particular product they're buying. So they're buying what they're seeing. Most of the time they do not get what they see.
uh,
Of course,
so
there are many people, I'm sorry, there
yeah,
are many people who do sell, but there also are many people who do not sell the product they are actually displaying. So
yes.
you selling, basically you have your own establishment and you have many customers coming from maybe around the world to touch and feel your product and buy it. So, what is your take on that when someone buys, seeing that product and then they come up saying, I did not get the product which I actually saw? What is your take on that?
So there are two takes which I have. First is like what they are seeing and what they're getting is the thing. So what happens is like what they're seeing they are getting maybe, but what is the narrative set behind that product is wrong. So what happens, they are showing a yellow sari which has motive. They'll send you the exactly same product, but the story which they have sold behind that product is wrong. So it's a Banarsi, but it has been made on machine. So the product,
Uh,
the same product got shipped, but you got like entirely different thing. Like you did not get the original art with it. You just got a machine replica, or I'll say just a replica of the craft made on machine. So that is a bigger problem. And secondly, when you
mhm.
talk the technology, I do not have any problem with the technology. Everything can go ahead with the technology. People can sell it online till the time they are very discreet about what they're selling, how they're selling, how it is made, and everything. It has to be transparent. So, for example, people are now buying gold online also, but they have a trust that what when they're buying gold, it's gold. It's not something else coming in. But in saris, it has happened that everyone says that it is gold, 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 but when they're actually shipping you other metal or alloy or anything random just to compare it. So that is my bigger problem. Else, technology is always welcome. It has helped everyone grow in every, and it really helped in during COVID times when people could not come down to us. Everyone sold the pieces through WhatsApp and everything. So we just wanted to have a transparent system where let's just talk about what product we are selling and how we are selling, how it is made, and it is actually what we are delivering rather than talking all about handlooms and just passing out machine made, because I've seen multiple brands have been created online where they go to any workshop, take few pictures of handloom working, and then they just sell powerloom on their website, and everyone just markets themselves. Oh, I'm selling heritage craft and everything. So all these are the jargons which just want to attract the people. And what happens when they use all the jargons on their website or Instagram? All the genuine buyer goes to them and they just pick up a random thing, and that's where it's problematic. And I'll just tell you the impact of it post COVID, how brutally it has impacted. So even before COVID, it was having an impact, but the impact was little lesser. So in 2009, we had a weaver count of 95,000 in Varanasi. In 2019, it dropped to 25,000. It was still dropping. But now, if you go around and find out weavers, it will be 6, 7,000. So the speed by which it is declining is much, much higher, and it has been growing because of all this. And the only thing which is creating this problem is people saying something and giving out something else. So one, if has a powerloom sari, they should not call it handloom ever until unless they prove it. And the burden should lie on them. Please prove first, then you sell it, kind of a thing. We'll have to change this narrative. That's my take on the tech end.
Absolutely, you are so very right, Kunal. One question came to my mind right now. That is, when you went to study, when you decided to take this particular subject, did you have it in mind that you will come back to your craft, to your family, to your heritage, basically, or did you have any other plans, or this was your plan?
Uh, it was not my plan as such, but I was growing through this like since I was in class seventh, eighth as a normal Weaver's family child. I started learning about it. I was interested. I used to enjoy around it. Then I gave my like when I had to do engineering, I just purposefully chose textile. I wanted to see other side of textile also. It's one side where you do all the apparel thing or a luxurious product where people want to enter design side. But what I studied was more of a technical textiles or anything, how we can make bulletproof jackets, dresses, like a dress for the armies and other people. So that was also very interesting thing. But what happened, like and I was like much more oriented towards the technology. So I've worked like 6, 7 years as a AI professional, like who knows how to make AI, ML, and all those things. Then when in COVID, I came back and I saw the deterioration happening in the life of the viewers and everyone around it. Then I found it out that it's my social responsibility that I grew among them. They all funded my education in some or other way. So I should give back to the society now. And that's how I took it. And I'm now full time doing it. So I just wanted, so it's more of a social responsibility, you can say, that 500 weavers family were directly attached with us. So 500 weavers family, almost 1500 livelihood lives. And we can't just go away and say कि नहीं नहीं मैं नहीं करूँगा अब आप लोग संभालो मैं चला कुछ और करना है. But yes, I can any day I could have got a high paying job when outside of India easily had my life, but no. So just thought that okay, I'll just try to sustain, survive. And right now if you see, that has been coming true, that like we are only few families who are holding it, and everyone is just moving around machines and they're just trying to mint quick money. It's not a plan, but yeah, God's plan, I'll say.
Absolutely, God has His own plans always. Anyone else in your family or in your immediate family into this also, apart from
Yeah, yeah,
you?
yeah. So we have my brother, my cousins have already doing it. They went to NIFT, IAMs, but they have returned to it just to contribute to it.
That's
So yeah,
great, isn't it? That's very encouraging news. I mean, this is what the others also should listen to so that people, come back to your craft. It is your craft, isn't it? It is, and you have to hold forth. Otherwise, this will actually die out. So we keep on saying that we don't want handlooms to end up in the museum. This is where it's going, seemingly going. So we don't want it. We want it to be in the museums. And now my
yeah,
next question would be, Kunal. It's all I'm just bombarding with the questions which are coming to my mind, which I want to ask everyone I meet. Is that the price of the handloom pieces? If we talk about saris only, because that saris is my passion.
yeah.
Then the price, because recently there was this exhibition and I was there. So there was this lady who sells very exquisite stuff, but the prices are really high. I mean, everyone would want to possess it, but the prices are very high. So, it will always, very easily come to someone's mind, let me copy it and make it in the power loom and sell it. That is what I think really happens. Uh, so but I understand handloom pieces actually are priced because they take a long time, and that is only how the weaver will survive. But is there a solution to it? Like, because it is because the prices are high, handlooms are not really sold. Though we all understand that handlooms are a heritage. Someone told me if you want to own a piece of heritage, you have to pay the price for it. Well, that's very correct. But then, everyone cannot own a piece of heritage. So, what, Kunal, is the solution to it? You
So
being directly connected to it.
I'll tell you. So since it's a anyhow, we'll have to oblige by the minimum wages of the country. So they need to have it, and once you have that, it like for a per day, it's going now around 12 to 1300 per day for a weaver, like weaver plus two operator loop. So that is coming onto it. We can't help it till the time we want to get a original product made. But yes, people do have workaround. We can do it very smartly, design it properly so that it falls within the range of every section of the society. But yes, it has crossed that threshold. And secondly, is that at any point of time when we see Banarsi, it has been into a luxurious side only. So the people, elites, I'll say, or someone upper middle class could only have it, and by nature of the product, it is. We can't do much about it because, let's just say, if I go back to the 20 years down the line, also, like the way our economy was, the everything, like certain section of the society could not buy it. So that has been always there. So we can't make it accessible because of the nature of the product, and everyone, like, as it's more of a generational knowledge and the speed at which viewers are coming down, the prices are going to shoot up only. If we are not going to like take care of them, it's going to go up, and it will go up very significantly. I post COVID, it went like almost 100% up in 2 years. The sarees which we used to sell 18K, it is now 35K by now, or 2 years back. It gone. So it's all dependent upon the weavers we have it. If they are there, they will weave it. So we will price it accordingly. So that has been a thing. And yes, like we all need to find out the people who does original, try to find. And I'll tell you, that what happens that 100, let's just say 100 demand comes at the retail counters, but only 20 comes down to us, and we are even right now forced to leave our weavers to not do their work because we cannot give them sufficient work. If at least they start coming in, we can price it better. Among weaver community also, there can be a little bit of a that the demand is there, people are pumping money, so they also weave it in that way because at a lower price, because they will get at least 365 days of work. Now when they're not getting 365 days of work, they're like कि पैसा तो मिलेगा नहीं 2 दिन बाद, तो थोड़ा सा lower भी नहीं कर सकते हम. At least we need to sustain in that amount. So that's how they have even increased their wages on a higher side, because आप 2 महीने काम कराओगे फिर नहीं कराओगे. So that irregularity has also pushed us to give them higher wages. Else what they do, they just move to construction, and in construction right now, per day they get 14-1500 right now in Banaras. So it's very hard to compete, and we cannot take it back now from there. So that's the thing.
Well, yes, that is a sadder side of it, the entire scenario. Well, you need to earn your living. So if you don't get it here, then you are going to shift to a better revenue, which pays you better. Ultimately, you have to lead your life. But then, yes, what you said is right. If you can't create the demand, then of course, you won't get the weavers back. So that is one thing we will have to look into. Well, demand, but that is again the parloom sector is there, hanging like a sword everywhere. So we have to somehow find a solution to it. I'm sure, the higher up people, the authorities are looking into it. There's a lot of, noise around handlooms now. Handloom Day is there, and Handloom Month, and Handloom Week. So again, there that also it sparks the Swadeshi movement. Handloom Day is on a day when the Swadeshi movement started. So that is why, because our Swadeshi, the fighters were all wearing handlooms at that time, the khadi, which was hand woven. So that was the way we protested against our colonizers. So if we really stand straight and try and say that, yes, this is my country and we are, doing away with all what kind of influences we had. So we need to work on this.
Yes.
I'm sure, but I'm very positive, that if we try, there are positive signs. You see the younger generation now draping themselves in handloom. They are talking about it. The fact that they are at least talking about it also is encouraging, because then we
Yes.
have this, a feeling that yes, okay, maybe our handlooms will be safe in their hands too, which we have been holding tightly for so long.
I'll just add to it. I'm happy that they're talking about it, trying to wear, but they're not getting the right product somehow. So we need to be very conscious about it, what they're wearing and what they're actually getting.
Mhm.
Because
Absolutely.
all the Gen Zs now they have started earning money. They're trying to find out the original products to wear it, but they're not getting it.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
I won't say that every handloom is costly. So they can have from Kutch or anything where it's 300 rupees meter. So like from that perspective, so they can wear it. But even that they are not getting it, and that has a bigger problem when every polyester or anything just comes in between and they just sells from every counter of the retail outlet. So we need to
mhm.
give space to the handloom product. At least they need to be visible and they should buy it. So that is my bigger problem. And another to add it, however visibility we are adding, the machine guys are coming up with some alternative of it and marketing it like anything. Polyester has been marked like from Sadoshi movement. What I can recall that we used to wear cotton, and then telecot came and it became one of the famous choices of everyone around. So to handle all those things, we need to be very precise to talk about transparently and to lead them. Okay, here you will get it. Here you will get it. Here you will. So all these things, and even the government needs to look into it very actively about how they can procure original products. They're not able to. So I've got lot of feedback कि हम बहुत ढूंढते हैं हमें मिलता ही नहीं है हम कहाँ ढूंढे किस पे भरोसा करें. So there has to be some transparency mechanism which is more of a objective rather than subjective कि हमें दुकानदार पे भरोसा करना है किसी पे करना हम नहीं करना चाहते. Let the product itself speak. So some kind of authentication to that.
Absolutely. You're so very right there, Kunal, when you mentioned that, that innovation we need to make for the Gen Z, for the younger generation. It's very correct, because the younger generation will not like to wear a sari. And it's pretty obvious. They don't wear saris anymore. So there comes the innovation, or make a sari which they can wear at ease, move around in their own way. So yes, you're so very right. Innovation is very important, and of course you need that, government involvement here, so that we see that we make it available for the Gen Z. So that is how actually it spreads more. That is how the industry will stop dying out. You're very right there, Kunala, and I agree totally with you there. We're just hoping, that things will
Yeah.
improve, and handlooms, which has always been our pride, will be there forever. Yeah, Shumona, now over to you.
Thanks. I love this conversation, and it seems like a very it's like a loop. Like we cannot support them enough. Naturally, the prices of handlooms are going up, and then people are filling it with cheaper powerloom products, and then the cycle goes. Very recently, I actually had a friend. He heard a lot about the Handloom Day celebrations, and he ordered several handloom marketed sarees from a brand. It was quite pricey, and all he got was powerloom. And then his response was कि क्या difference है इसमें, क्या मिला मुझे different. So naturally that person is not going to care क्योंकि सबके Instagram में it's the same. Everybody is hand woven, everybody is handcrafted, and that does, I understand what you're saying, Kunal, but then isn't that something related to what you did at Hastkala, Pramanak? If you can tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so at Hastkala, so Hastkala was born out of this frustration only because everyone around, I'll just go around local market and found out that everyone is themselves is a manufacturer, even the shopkeeper who doesn't own anything, like just a trader who brings product and sells it, they are also manufacturer here. every road, every corner is filled with the manufacturers, and they're just selling rubbish. Like, then I found it, okay, let's just create something which creates a visibility for them, technology which helps them to like identify all those products. So Hastkala came out of it. So Hastkala Pramanak is anything which is handmade, you can authenticate it. And in that, we just use very simple technology. Everyone, where you go, on every packets nowadays, you might be receiving it. It has comes with a QR code, scan it, verify it whether it's original or not. We just did the exactly same thing, just same thing. We added few more nuances to it to make it more proof, like which cannot be copied or anything. We have an NFC technology where like it is interwoven within the sarees nowadays, and it cannot be taken out. You just keep your phone and tap your phone on it, and you can see all the details and when it was made, how it was made, who made it. So all the details, all the queries where you have it. And specifically for me, it was more of a pride to bring our weavers who sits on the loom on the front, where their name, their picture, their expertise is speaking about themselves and what they have created. Because me, my dad, my granddad, even two generation back from them, like we have created such a wonderful textiles, but no one knows us. So we have been always invisible to the audience. Like, who are you? Still people ask us. So at least person who has created, whose products are in the national museum and everywhere, like at least they should know by us, by our name somehow. But they just know by someone else's name. So we just wanted our viewers to be alive in the memories of people who are owning those sarees at least. So they can have that pride that we bought from him, and it has the legacy is continuing. So that's what Hastkala Pramanak is. It just give a objective way to verify your own products, what you're buying from the shops. So whenever you buy from us, we give you, and even three of our cooperatives are using it nowadays.
Could you tell a little bit more about how you embedded traceability into it?
So traceability, as in that. So see, there are two sides of anything. So here is one soft digital data, and there is another hard piece, which is a sari. And then all the technology, all the data was put on a blockchain where, like, at every step, we just push the data to a blockchain where it is interconnected. And when you push on the blockchain, it ensures that nothing can be changed. So non-hackable, non-immutable, no one can change it. ऐसा नहीं है कि पीछे से जाके change कर दिया कि किसी और की साड़ी किसी और की हो गई. No one can do. And we followed all those strict measures, and then came a bigger picture of whole, like joining the physical product with this digital data. And that's where we use advanced tech, where we had a unique kind of a electronic chip which was embedded within the sari using a double weave. So we make a pocket kind of a place in the sari and place the chip inside, and cannot be taken out. So that, and it can be only done on handloom. That's also a thing. So if it is done on handloom, that can be done. If it is not done, it can't be done. So that's how we brought this changes so that everyone can buy original pieces. So that's how we did it.
I've heard a lot about this Hastakala thing, and
Yes.
and I'm so happy that you are here with us today, because we have this a group of ladies, and this is a sari group. We call it 6 yards and 365 days. It was set up by Sunita Buddhiraja, who is no more with us now. We lost her during the COVID. So here, we all the members, we have pledged to buy only handloom sarees.
Okay.
So, and Sunita Di believed that, if so many, we are, I don't know, a group of, I don't know the exact number, but we are spread all around the world, and there are some maybe 20,000 or more than that women in the group
Oh,
now.
wow.
So she believed, if all of us buy these handloom pieces, that is how we will keep it alive. We ourselves can keep it alive. So with that motto, we have united and we keep in touch. We have these meets, and every meet, sometimes we focus on a particular weave so that everyone possesses one. Number two, we talk about it, so you come to know about that particular weave, the history, etc. But that is how we do it on our part. So here I've heard about this Hastakala. So when
Okay.
Shumana was talking about it, and I saw your introduction, I was so very happy, to know that you are the one, with behind this
Oh,
Hastakala. So the name
the
also is very interesting, Hastakala. So that actually, brings that spark within you. Okay, you are interacting with someone, who is into the Hastakala, the hand, the kala, the art.
yes.
So when you are making something, when you are, into this organization at the very grass, at the root level, when you are starting with. So and today, how many years it is now? Today, how many years back did you start it?
So we started in 2022 this time.
Okay. So it's been 3 years now. So
Yes.
what changes do you see? Have you seen any improvement in any particular sector, or you need now, where to work upon, how to work upon, and how to propagate it more? Because many
So
people still don't know about it, I'm sure.
yeah, people don't know about it, but like we started very small from our own workshop, but still we started from here. But now the talk is everywhere. Like every cluster is talking about us. Everyone is talking about traceability, transparency, and everything. Somehow this powerloom guys here in Banaras, they came up with something for their own because they are fighting with Surat products.
Yeah, can we have a look at the looms? It'd be so interesting.
I'll just show you the we work from our workshop only. I work. So this is one of a kind of a pit loom. So here they do uh, like a kadwa weaving leaves doing it. This is what it is called as kadwa. So where every spindle moves on a different motive. I just show you another thing. So this is how the workshop looks like. So this is one of a very intricate kind of a weave which we does here is a tapestry weaving. The weaver has to do it like every 2 to 3 yarns he has to lift it by his own hand. These are not operated by jacquard. It's more like a jamdani, but with a very different and special technique of rankat. So here we have around 10 looms over here, which is all operated, and we have different other sections. If you want to see, then just show. Yeah, and we have all the female working with us. Like Auntie has been working with us for almost 30 years. She does all the preparatory processes and everything. And here we do pitch wise here. So he does around 60 inches width of loom. This is. So we have around one loom which is 120 inch also. You just go back. Anything else you want to see? Let me know. I'll just take you around. So
Yes, I already know what my question is, Kunal. When we are
yeah,
talking about this particular, Pichwai and all these things, I want to know about the different kinds of Banarasi saris. You have this shikargar, which I really want to possess one of my own. Still been, able to get one for myself. So can you talk about, a little bit about these particular kind of Banarasis which are there?
sure, sure. So there are very different, unique kinds of them. So let's just say we have shikarga. So this is very different, like different kind of a piece, which is reversible and woven. It can be used from both the sides. So it is black on this side and white on this side. So we call this here the rukha kind of a thing, which can be used from both the sides.
So if it's a sari, we can wear it from both the sides?
Yes,
Okay. So what is
black.
it
Then we
called?
can, we call it
What do you call it?
because of dorukha. Two sides means doruk. So we call this dorukha.
Okay, okay. Doruka, okay. That's interesting. Since we are already in the range of the saris, so can you tell us averagely how you priced? How is the sari priced on an average? A normal one, not a very intricate design one.
Even very normal one, it has now got to almost 20K by now. If you buy original, well developed
Okay.
pieces, it's now 2023 kind of a range.
And what are the other Banarasis which are commonly which you commonly sell? Like people really inquire, come and buy it from you.
Uh, I don't, yeah. So this is one of very, these are all the pieces which we do here are the unique, exclusive kind of a thing. I don't call it any bestseller or what people will normally buy. So this is a chiffon sari, which I would have seen. Normally, how would I see a chiffon sari in the market is that they take chiffon saris and put a border on top of it. They stitch it. They do a patchwork kind of work. But here in Banaras, it has been traditionally been done that these two are woven together. And these and this till here it is chiffon between both the borders, and the sides are katan silk. So this is not dyed, it is yarn dyed, this is fabric dyed, and it has been done since long. But what I have seen in the market is everyone sells these, but they do patchwork kind of a stuff. Like they can do anything, but that's now was traditionally being done. It has to be woven properly, then degummed and dyed. It is one of the very unique that an entire Banaras only few people can do it. Like 2 to 3 houses can do it. That's all. No one else can do it
Okay.
nowadays because it's so intricate that what happens is like when you're dealing with color, you need to understand chemistry of it. Else, color bleeds in your body and everywhere. So you'll have to be very precise in every step of it, and it takes just the dyeing of the sari takes around 5 days for all these steps to happen.
Mhm.
So, and the weaving, the normal Banarsi saris are being woven, it takes the same amount of time plus the dyeing time. And in this, the rate at which the sari can go wrong is also high. So that's why we have this sari where, uh, where we have motifs in this. We call it butidar saris. So since it's motifs, we will call it butidar. So this saree is one of the revival pieces of one client of ours from the Kolkata only. She gave her grandmom's wedding saree and she wanted to wear on her own wedding. So we just made a similar, exactly same thing, but a new piece for her. So that's how it is. I'll show you more. So this is brocade, which we call it. So where we have like the Banarsi brocade, which is famous, the orange color kind of a thing, and everything.
So
In
what do you call
the
this sari?
This is a brocade saree only. So whenever the
Brocade
zari is
sari.
greater,
Okay.
if the zari is greater than 80%, we'll call it as a brocade. Because your
Okay.
zari is more visible than the
Mhm.
background. So we'll call it a brocade. But sometimes the normal picture comes even from the technique, how it has been woven and everything. So both the sides it works. I'll try to show you the
Right.
shikari, to show you a real very
Shikarga.
shikari.
Yes.
This one. When you have the box. नीचे ही रख के लेकिन हाँ वही 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 ये दिख रहा है। This is so what we call it tanshui, which is in satin form, and all these are intricately woven designs within. And the tanshui is very famous just because it is a satin fabric plus design is within the weft. So normally all the saris which you see in Banaras, it has extra weft wherever you see. So all these zaris which you see,
Mhm.
we call it as extra because the fabric is made and the zari is overlaid on top of it. But in this one, while you're weaving it, only the design has to be there. So it gets even more intricate for the weaver to weave it rather than because in every other you make fabric and then you overlay design. In this, it is within that. So this is very special kind of a sarees which can be easily draped and like wearing, draping it is like absolutely no hassle, easy to go.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
it's a real pleasure to see all these beautiful saris.
And this is another kind of saree. So where like a ghar chola style where you have checks and everything and you have it. And this saree has almost 9,500 motifs in it, like all small ones. And all this are discontinuous. So these are not like a fikwa, all a kadwa kind of a thing. And everyone is individually woven kind of a thing. So we were takes his own time, and in one go he has to engage around. In one line, he has almost 70 motifs, and it goes all 5.5 meters. All, and from here, what we have done over a period of time that we started only doing the exclusive ones because as we've heard everywhere that please do only those which powerlooms can't do it, and we just started like coming more towards the artistic side rather than a general side. So I don't like at our place we try not to make a general sari which is out there in the market because even the people like it, the power we can't compete with the power looms. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where we did and we drew a line that okay we won't do that because of the same reason. This is another sari.
Absolutely.
This is a jangla sari which people talk about. So uh, So when we say jangla, jangla comes from the theme of a jungle or a very interconnectedness. So either it's a jal which we see in the any old houses or in Taj Mahal, let's just say there are jals or anywhere, or it comes from the jungle also where every creepers are interconnected with each other. So in this there will be no discontinuity of any sort. So the creeper will keep on moving here and there. So that's where the name comes from. So these are few kinds of the saris which we are doing. Like what I could show you in this short time.
Thank you so much, Kunal, for taking us on a round of these beautiful saris. I'll be dreaming about them tonight. I'm sure Shumana would be also dreaming about it. I mean, these beautiful saris are every woman's dream kind too. Everyone would love to possess one of these. So more power to you. May you keep on creating these beautiful pieces for us, and may this art live forever. This is only what I would wish, and I would like to have my hands on a few of them also as time comes. Well, Shimona, I've been asking him so many questions, and I because I had so many questions. Anything else you
No,
want to ask, Shimona?
No, it's lovely because you have the passion to really, you have the curiosity to really know about it, and he has the answers to really tell you. But if we could have like an overview from you, Kunal, बनारसी के हम सोच लेते हैं कि बनारस का जो भी है वो बनारसी है, but usually it's a lot of different techniques. So if you can tell us a little bit about them and how to differentiate.
see, uh, anything which is woven in Banaras is not Banarasi. I just want to draw a very hard line onto that. Anything which is made here is not Banarasi. It has to follow certain protocols, then only it is Banarasi. It has to go in a particular way, then only it is a Banarasi, particular kind of a zari. You can't use plastic zari. So very specifically, it has to have metallic zari. It has to have a silk. It has to have woven on handloom. So all this criteria needs to be fulfilled, and it has to be a weaver who lives around us. It can't be someone coming from Kanchipuram and weaving it here and we start calling it Banarasi. That's also not true. So these are few very hard criteria we want to like talk very openly about it so that everyone knows about it. And anything which is made on machines is not Banarsi. I just want to say that. So the few criteria which I just wanted to tell you that please, whenever a sari comes to you, if you don't want to get cheated, any sari, like it, whatever you like it, and then when you have 4 or 5 pieces left with of it, that moment you start looking at back of it, no, the seller will be very conscious about it. Oh, the person knows it, and he'll the chances of you getting duped will reduce by 50 to 70% at the moment only. The moment you start going backside of it rather than just looking on the side. And see, in this sari, it is woven. So how clean it is. Like there is no rough edges, no edges looking pointing on it. So it has to be there. If it is a pointing or anything, it is not woven on by hand. Like just draw a very hard line unless the seller can prove it. So it has to be kadwa, else if it is fekwa, please leave it. Anything which is Banasi katwa, leave it. Because in that only they try to disguise you, play with you, and sell you powerloom stuff. Any website, if you go and it says Banasi katwa, please leave it. It's not made on hand. I'll be honest and to tell it, yeah, in this 1 to 2% might get covered, but please, like the chances of you getting duped is 99%. So why do we want to go to that route? Let the seller prove it. Let the owners be on that guy to prove it. If you can't prove it, just ignore it and don't put your money in a wrong product rather than buying if you can afford it, or even if you can't save it for some time and buy a original product which can make you happy. And secondly, this Parloom sarees, they're not selling it anything cheap. They are now selling at 22, 25,000 in the market, and which is not cheap. If you can put 25,000, you can easily save for 2 more months and go to 30 and buy your original product. I'm not saying that only price defines, but multiple times I've heard that machines came because everyone can't afford it. No, it's not about affordability. It's not affordable anymore. You are just selling at the same price of the handlooms are selling, and original handlooms are selling. So let's just save and try to find it out. And whoever says that okay, it is affordable, it is not. Please don't dupe us. Like that's the straight away answer we can give to them.
Very rightly said again. Well, Kunal still has this beautiful silks all around him. We can see a piece of orange and a red flying from here and there. And I would so much love to visit you and see all these for myself. I think we'll make this trip one of these days, Shumana, and fill my heart, you know, to see these beautiful pieces lying there all around. Well, thank you so much, Kunal, for taking us on the trip, today. This is a short, lovely trip and showing us the products and, also informing the audience what to do and what not to do, which is right and which is wrong. Because we need people like you to come and tell us, to tell the customers what to do, what not to do. Because so many of the times, because of ignorance, we get duped also. So
Yes,
there's a need to educate the customers. It's not that they want to buy a parlour, but most of the time they get duped. So that is
absolutely.
what where we need more education, and people like you will play a big role, in educating the audience. Thank you once again, Kunal, for being with
That's right.
us and on an educational tour, basically this afternoon and evening too.